Hi friends, it's me again, Miss Evie, and I am here with some more hopefully helpful parenting tips or advice for you. And what I'd like to talk to you about today is the topic that I titled Choose Your Battles. And it seems like from the time we bring our children home from the hospital until the time they leave our homes, they're constantly looking for ways to assert their independence, and often there is a battle of wills between child and parent. And I'd just like to share some of the things that I found to be helpful when my children were younger. And this also can apply, I remember a parent-teacher conference that I had with a parent, and she was talking about the struggles that she was having with her son, and I gave her the same advice, pick your battles carefully, choose your battles. And she came back to me several years later and she said of all the advice she'd ever had at a parent-teacher conference, that was the most useful and the most helpful for her, was just knowing not to make everything a battle, not to fight everything, but to choose your battles carefully and wisely. An example of this in my personal life with my girls was with their clothing when they were going to pick out something to wear. And that's a little thing, but it can be a huge battle. And what I found helpful was before we even got our clothing, whenever we even decided what the girls were going to wear, I set some boundaries within my mind, the things that I could accept and the things that I couldn't accept. And so I think having those boundaries ahead of time helped me. For example, I did not want my girls to have booty shorts, and I didn't want them to wear skimpy bikinis. So those were the non-negotiables. Those were things that I was willing to fight about if it came down to a battle of wills. Now, they may have picked out some other things that I didn't really care about the style or didn't really like the way it looked, or maybe when they went to put it together, it didn't really match very well. It wouldn't have been what I chose, but it was clean and they were covered. And so I was okay with that. That was a battle I chose not to fight. Inside, the perfectionist in me was kind of knotted up thinking, oh my goodness, that doesn't match, that doesn't look well. But like I said, it wasn't a battle worth fighting at that point. I did, however, when they went out mismatched and looking less than how mommy wanted them to look, very quickly point out that they're learning to dress themselves and that they chose their own clothes this day. So I guess that was kind of my way of gaining a small victory in that battle. But when it came time that if they would want to put on something that I considered inappropriate, like the booty shorts or the bikini, that was something then that I would step up and say, no. This is where we draw the line. This is what doesn't happen. So having that established already, and even them knowing that going into it, I think made it a lot easier when it came time to make those decisions. And I think it kind of averted a battle to begin with. Another thing that comes to mind is when they were really little, it was a big deal to sit by mommy at the table when we were eating. And so they would fight for a while over that. And I thought, this is something that I don't want to have happen every night. That just starts our dinner wrong. And it was a little thing. And oftentimes kids want to, it seems like, find a reason to start a battle over little things. And so for me, I just started saying, okay, we're not going to fight over who sits by mommy. This is not something that is worth fighting over. We're going to take even and odd days. Emily, you were born first. That's an odd number. So on odd days, you could just sit by mommy. Brienne, you were born second. That's an even number. So on even number days, you could just sit in the chair by mommy. And so knowing that ahead of time, there was no battle. That's just the way it was. It was already established. It was already taken care of. And that was a battle that we didn't have to even fight at all. So going and thinking, being kind of proactive there ahead of time can avert a lot of battles. And then just very carefully thinking about, okay, is this really something to disrupt our whole family over? Or is this something that I can compromise on? Often even giving choices. Back to the clothing thing that I was talking about, if you really want them to look nice when you're going somewhere, give them a choice of 3 outfits rather than saying you have to wear this one. And oftentimes once they feel empowered and like they have a choice, then that will take away their need to assert their independence and their authority. I kind of think of it like us as adults, when we are in our workplace or in our homes and we feel like we're being micromanaged or always told what to do, it makes us feel maybe threatened, maybe like we need to fight back. And kids are the same way. They need to know that they are becoming independent, that they do have choices. And by choosing our battles wisely, by letting them know where we draw the line, what things are really important, and seeing that we are willing to compromise on some things goes a long way in teaching them how to interact as they grow and become adults. I hope you have found this video helpful. Again, just think about how you can choose your battles wisely to make your household run more smoothly. And it isn't easy. Parenting isn't easy, but I know you're up for the task, and I'm sure you're going to be a successful warrior in the battle of parenting. Keep choosing those battles wisely, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.